What up, everybody? I hope everybody out there is having a wonderful day. I am Joe, and this is Legend from the Console, and today I have Lindsey with me.
Welcome. Thanks for taking the time to watch us today. We are covering the first episode of The Mandalorian.
Yeah, so I know we're going to be considered probably a little late at putting a spoiler review out, but, things came up, we weren't able to get it out. So you guys will be seeing this one today, which is Sunday. We are going to drop this video as well as a video from Lejjnd from the Tabletop. And then hopefully Wednesday, or by Wednesday, hopefully we will have episode 2, and then Saturday we can have episode 3.
Well, but definitely please excuse our lateness for it. Schedules, family, many factors kind of make things a little difficult, but we're trying to do our best.
Oh yeah, we're going through it right now.
It's not, I wouldn't say exactly a spoiler. It's kind of more of a comments and opinions, and should be quite unique just for a fact of, we'll explain right now right quickly. Joe, a great wizard of knowledge for Star Wars. No question, no qualms about it. The man knows his verse very, very well. Myself, this is where it gets to be a little bit fun. I, probably one of the lamer sorts, core movies. I've got a little bit of comic knowledge, tiny. Have been a player of the West End Games role-playing game, which I enjoy tremendously. And hopefully we'll be getting into that. So, we know we've got extensive knowledge. Peanut-sized knowledge. This should be most fun and interesting. So, I will...
So, let's get to the first point of it. Start with just the fact of Disney Plus. Today is really the first time you've had a chance to look at it, right?
Very much, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, so I mean, as I've stated in a previous video to this, I highly recommend Disney Plus, especially if you got kids and everything, or you're just a massive geek like two of us, who find tons of stuff on there that's just like, oh my god. Yeah. But,
if you're like a father like me, my child has gone through entirely Netflix, entirely through Hulu. She is bored, has nothing to watch. Whole new verse.
Yeah.
It can't go wrong.
Yeah, right. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into The Mandalorian. So again, as you stated, you know a bit of the movies, you know a little bit about, things here and there, but most of your knowledge is connected to what is considered legends now.
Yes.
And you're much more of a Star Trek guy, so you're not too well versed in the universe of Star Wars.
I bet somebody in the...
Oh, I guarantee you, if somebody watches this, they're going to comment, screw you.
Well, I have our preferred choices. I'm saying nothing bad against Star Wars. It's just not my top. But I do enjoy it.
So yeah, what are your thoughts and feelings being today is your first time watching an episode of The Mandalorian?
Mandalorian, I believe very, very detailed and well shooting effects. No complaints about that. Very solid story. The tidbits of the backstory, the memories as such. I have questions and I have concerns, wondering, my first thought is the man, the kid we see in the dream sequences, is he really Mandalorian?
In my opinion, I believe he is. So, we'll kind of start at the top, or we'll get right into that point. So, when you see the flashbacks, it's when he meets the blacksmith, another Mandalorian who, makes his arm piece for him. She melts the Beskar, creates it, forges it for him, and she mentions foundlings. So I know I've even, seen videos and people talking about, is he a true Mandalorian? Now, so what I believe the term foundling is that they are Mandalorians, but they were just Mandalorians found during the Purge, which is after the Empire takes over and they kind of go through and force planets, communities, and other governments and stuff pretty much to bow down to them, to give them all the power, and they're now in charge, and so they go through Mandalore and take all the Beskar, which is the metal that they use to create their armor, their weapons, such, you know. And I believe what happened, the scene you see, though, is, I believe, during Clone Wars. So during the prequels, I believe he is a Mandalorian. I believe he is... His parents hide him away, and he is found later on and brought back to to the tribe. And when she asks him, has your signet been revealed? What I believe she is asking is, do you know what clan you're part of yet?
Okay, see that brings an interesting point. You say the Clone Wars. So basically,
Well, and the reason I believe it is the Clone Wars is because you see the super battle droids walking through blasting. So those are the upright that you see a lot in Attack of the Clones. And I believe some in Revenge of the Sith, and they're the silver ones that walk upright and have the blasters on their arms.
Okay, so to me that interestingly puts a point of, okay, the stormtroopers at that time were cloned from a Mandalorian?
Well, and that's a lot of they're cloned from Jango Fett.
Yeah.
And Boba Fett is considered in part of canon that he is a clone of Jango Fett as well, but just not given the accelerated aging gene.
Well,
so he grows up normal.
He grows up normal,
yeah.
But his father was the one.
But that's a massive debate throughout all of Star Wars and all the fandom is Jango Fett really a Mandalorian, or does he just use their armor?
Okay. See, I didn't have a clue about that.
So I believe he is. I know in what's considered, again, Legends now, the EU, the original EU. Eventually, I believe, if I remember correctly, Boba Fett actually becomes the leader of Mandalore. He becomes the Mandalore, the ultimate Mandalore. Eventually,
so
in Legends.
In Legends, so he does escape the Sarlacc pit.
Yes, in Legends, absolutely.
Okay.
I don't know how they're going to do it in canon, if he actually is or not.
Okay,
but anyway, we digress. So yes, I believe he is a real Mandalorian, and I believe the Foundlings are just Mandalorians that are found and discovered by the tribe, and they're not sure what clan they're from.
Okay.
And it's trying to figure that out for them. So yeah, but
okay.
So yeah, that's definitely that. But let me get into one thing I definitely really enjoyed. Again, being such a massive Star Wars fan, is a lot of the creatures and everything you see from Star Wars lore. Like the Kuban, which is the anteater looking creature that has the flute and calls the drivers.
Yes.
Which you originally see in A New Hope, who sells out Luke and Obi-Wan when they're selling the speeder. And points the stormtroopers in their direction, and they take off on the Falcon. But then also, what is it? The Trandoshans, which is the lizard-like creatures. You would know him as Bosk, the bounty hunter from Empire Strikes Back. That's on the Mammoth Star Destroyer with Boba Fett and Dengar and IG-88.
Yeah, familiar.
Yeah. And then also later on in the show, you see the Nikto, which are those lizardous-looking creatures. They got the ones that are defending the objective in the big fight on the planet.
Doesn't ring a bell. But...
The creature in the Mandalorian, the creatures that IG-11 and Mandalorian were fighting, those are called Nikto.
Okay.
So it was really cool to see a bunch of different species and see a new species, the Mithros. Or Mithrils, which was the amphibian, the blue guy.
Oh, but funny bit, speaking of alien races, I don't know what the name of the race, Delicious Crumb.
Oh, yeah, I'm not even going to say it because I'm going to get it wrong right now. Kowakian monkey lizards.
Funny.
You see the one on the spit and the other one in the cage just like looking in fear like... Oh, I'm next.
One on the spit, cooking on the bar.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was funny. That was good.
Yeah. So, then starts, he gets the mithril at the beginning,
Interesting to people, especially, that was an interesting scene.
The beginning in the cantina?
No, actually where he goes to meet to get the contract.
Oh, to Grief. Grief is he's one of the leaders, I guess, in the Bounty Hunter Guild. His name is Grief. Carl Weathers.
Not him. After that point.
Oh, okay. The Imperial.
Yes.
The client.
Yes, I would definitely say that had to be a governor or some sort.
Yeah, regional governor. That was and you see in that scene all the stormtroopers, all dirty, pretty much just they're clinging to what is left of the Empire. And
very much. And this is set 5 years after Jedi.
Yes, after Return of the Jedi. And
yeah, that was.
It's just interesting to see. Again, I was talking about the Purge earlier. You know, that's when. Mm-hmm. You see the Mandalorian get the piece of Beskar, which is, again, the steel they use for their weapons and armor. And just the fact that, it belongs back in the hands of the Mandalorians, which is kind of, to me, a dig-in because him being part of the Empire, after they take over, after the Galactic Empire takes over and Palpatine is running everything, they purge Mandalore and take all the Beskar for themselves, and that's why you see, like, on the planet they're on, him going to, like, a secluded little thing with a bunch of Mandalorians running around, and, it shows him getting a brand new piece, and they don't have it, and they're trying to earn it.
Yes.
So, it's just, to me, I really hope the Mando, as he's called at the beginning of the show, ends up, killing this bastard. I really hope, man.
Too much of a smooth talker. The doctor that appeared afterwards, definitely too clean, too well spoken. Definitely Imperial.
Yeah, and if you are a massive Star Wars, you will see on his shoulder he actually has a symbol from. Oh my God! I'm having a brain fart. The cloners. Camino, the Camino, yes. So he has a symbol of the Camino cloners on his shoulder. So which with me is, so we get through, okay, let's get to this. They give him his mission, right? He goes on, finds the planet, he has the whole run thing with the Ugnaught, which is Nick Nolte's character, which I believe you first see them in Empire Strikes Back. Mm-hmm. The little guys that are taking apart C-3PO.
Yeah.
And I believe that's exactly what he is, and, he helps him out, he gets him the blurg, they go off, and then IG-11 comes in, and...
That was an interesting point to me, which would tell me that somehow...
somebody else is looking...
Inherently, the Mandalorian race must have some sort of infinity or calming presence with animals.
Could be, yes.
Which could be...
just in his general nature, because if... Okay, so let's get into that part too. So when he's talking to Nick Nolte, the Ugnaught, who's helping him, he mentions, you're a Mandalorian. Your ancestors rode the great mythosaur, which is a creature that was on Mandalore that are these large dragoness type creatures, I believe, and the Mandalorians ended up conquering them and using them as mounts and everything, and it was, difficult beasts to fight, to say the least.
Okay.
And so that's what he's talking about, the fact that, your ancestors rode these great giant beasts that were vicious, and you better be able to ride this little bull.
Which would lead to the point of they had to have some sort of natural ability or good training in animal handling and such skills, which puts my mind into thought into role-playing games.
Yeah.
It really does. Or some type of force sensitivity towards that. Maybe that's a
possibly the only thing about that with Mandalorians are well versed and known as Jedi killers, so they were resistant to the Force. There was actually only, as far as I know, the first and one of the only Mandalorians to ever become a Jedi, and I believe it does fall into Disney canon because he is the one that created the Darksaber, which comes out in Rebels and in the Clone Wars and a ton of stuff in Legends. So does the lightsaber that has a black blade that actually sucks light out of wherever it's at, making everything much dimmer.
That's wild.
Yeah, and but so a Force affinity is kind of strange to say, but they do seem to have some ability to kind of calm a creature or something, Yeah. But so let's get into that. So he gets there, finally, breaks the mount, the blur, and is able to write it to where he sees, his mark is. And then IG-11 comes in and immediately just mucks everything up, starts blasting everything to hell and back, and eventually he has to jump in. They team up and they, go through taking all these guys out. And I love the funny little bit that's kind of running through between the two of them.
Don't blow up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then IG-11 constantly initiating self-destruct. Don't do that. Then, you get through the battle, they can't get in, and they bring in, the Nikto bring in a Gatling gun, and just the way it's done, he has them he has IG-11 run out and distract them, and they go at him. He fires his grappling hook, spinning the gun around, taking out the gunner, and then jumps on it, spinning it, and just takes out every one of them.
Yes.
And that's when they, how we getting in, they look back, see the thing, and blast it open, walk through. The one guy comes out and blasts, he takes him out real fast, anybody left. And then they find the mark. And this is where, especially when I watched it for the first time, the day it dropped is... wow, and this is spoilers everywhere. This whole thing, if you're watching still, you damn well better have known this was spoilers, because I did mention it at the beginning, but this is where you see a baby Yoda.
Or Yoda.
His species, at least, and which, again, we don't know what they are called. In all of Star Wars... and especially now in canon, you have three. You have Yoda, you have one called Yaddle, which is a female that sits on the Jedi Council in Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and that's the last we see of her. And other than that, in canon, Disney's canon, this is the third one. So we don't know. George Lucas kept it under wraps forever when he was allowed people to write stuff for the EU, all that. His true species was never allowed. A long time ago, people were calling him, I believe, a Lannic, which has been verified that is not true. They are not Lannics. It's a completely different species. So nobody knows what they're called. We just are calling it Baby Yoda as of right now.
Yes.
And so you get IG-11, who's like, well, the contract said to kill. And then you hear a blast as he raises his gun, and you just see him drop. Mandalorian is standing there and just puts his finger down, and you see the Baby Yoda at the end of the scene reaching out to touch him. Now, so to me, I'm like, this is where I'm like, what's going on? Because you have, the client. We're just going to call him the governor, because that's what I truly believe he is some form of regional governor, still clinging to the hopes of the Empire. Yeah. And then you have a doctor who has a cloner, Camino cloner symbol on him. So, this is where we start getting the theory, is like, what is the Baby Yoda? Is it actually a true infant, or, well, not infant, but I guess in the way Disney is saying they age. They say it's 50 years old. Was it in stasis? Is it truly 50? Who knows? But is it a clone of like Yoda or Yaddle, or is it truly a species? And so, could it be a clone that the Doctor created? Or is he trying to get it so he can create clones of it?
I'm thinking he's getting it to create clones, just the way he acted of... this is not what we agreed on.
Yeah, he wants it alive.
He wants it alive, so either... I would lean towards the fact of it's something they want so they can create. But then again, it would fit very well with the fact of we created it, we've lost it, now we want to get it back.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a hard one to throw out there.
We're going to continue watching the season fanatically to find out. But yeah, so again, like a lot of stuff that stuck out with me on this was, again, the big, like Tuesday night when this first episode like dropped and I watched it, and I'm like sitting there like, oh my god. I know all of Star Wars fandom was just like, holy, like what's going on? And I know Jon Favreau has discussed this, and he said it was extremely hard, and he had to do so much things to make sure this stayed a secret. Because you know how the Star Wars fandom is, and how rabid we are about all this stuff, and people discover by tiny little symbols and everything here and there, and so yeah. All in all, my opinion, an amazing start to this show, and it just, oh my god, it feels Lucas-esque because Lucas was involved. If you're a fan of like the Clone Wars and Rebels, which I enjoy, you have Dave Filoni, who's just amazing and helped work a lot on this and helped Jon Favreau create and write it, and he directed this first episode. And so, like, Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, and George Lucas, like, just, oh my god,
I think they wrote a good starting story, covered your elements of action, drama, not sarcasm, but
a little bit of humor, yeah.
A little bit of humor. It covered a lot of elements, the story. My opinion, I'd give it a good 8.5 out of 10. I'm enjoying the story so far. Seems pretty solid. Have questions about the background, but that will be fleshed out.
Well, and I believe, that's why you see a small flashback in it.
Yeah.
A small one. Mm-hmm. Because people watching this who are not, like me, obsessed with Star Wars to the point where you ink it on your body and you are just ridiculous about it. You go in, and I believe, the flashbacks and all this stuff is going to come in to hopefully explain what's going on with everything. Yeah. So, we'll see what happens.
I look forward to the next episode. I think it's a story that will definitely keep my interest.
Yeah, and so again, highly recommend it. Highly recommend Disney Plus. I loved it. Lindsay enjoyed it. Watch the damn thing. We will be back with another one, doing this again for episode 2. Until then, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give us a like. Hit us up in the comments. Let us know what you think about this video. Let us know how you feel about the Mandalorian, what you think, what your thoughts are. If you guys are enjoying any of our other content, please hit that subscribe button. Tap that notification bell as well so you can stay up to date with everything we're doing with Lejjnd Unlimited, including this channel and our Legend from the Tabletop channel. Check us out on Facebook at Lejjnd Unlimited. And until next time, I am Joe.
I am Lindsay. And as we forgot to give you an introduction to our second location.
Yeah, you got us here at location 2 today.
So. My home, my collection. Hope you enjoy. Thank you for watching us once again. And as Joe said, please subscribe, please like, help us grow.
Yeah, we would appreciate it very much. Until then, until next time, guys, take care of yourselves.
Roll hard.